Welcome to the Protagonist Pub. My name is Tammy. And this is where characters gather. Today we're going to talk about my March 2023 book club pick. And it was chosen by Michelle. And she chose The Wish by Nicholas Sparks. I read it on my Kindle from the library. It was my first Nicholas Sparks book. I don't even think I've seen a Nicholas Sparks movie, to be honest. I've heard about, The Notebook and The Letter and all that stuff. So I have a very good feel of Nicholas Sparks. So the premise of the book is the protagonist, I believe her name was Tess, becomes pregnant as a teenager and is shipped off to her aunt in Ocracoke until the baby is born, and then she's supposed to give the baby up for adoption. And she's telling the story to one of her employees as an adult who is dying from cancer in present day. I skimmed most of this book, I'm not going to lie. I wasn't in the mood to read it when I read it. It was intensely sad. It was intensely negative to Catholic parents. It painted a horrible portrait of her home life and her parents, and she's 16 when this happens, when she's in Ocracoke, and she falls in love with a boy who's slightly older, and he's willing to give up his West Point dream for her to marry her and parent the baby, and she makes some vastly mature decision to say no, and we'll meet again when we're 24. This whole ebb and flow of the story was just off for me. I mean, I skimmed probably 90% of this book, and I don't think I missed anything. She, present day, is not a nice person. She's dying. She knows she's dying. She knows she has very little time left to live. And she's isolated herself. Admittedly, she doesn't have a great relationship with her parents or her older sister, but she's not even told them that all the chemo and the drugs haven't worked, and she's now going to die. She hasn't told her family yet. She doesn't intend to tell her family until after Christmas. She's just very emotionally closed off and very selfish. She is not a person you would be friends with. This is not a person you would say, hey, you want to go, out to dinner or grab a drink on Friday night or, take a girls trip. She just does not have that kind of personality, and thus you do not connect to her at all. I will admit, at one point at the end of the book, I sobbed like a baby. He got me. Sobbed like a baby for that one point. But then she dies, and I didn't cry. I didn't care. I can't tell you why I cried, because it spoils the entire point of the book, but it has nothing to do with Tess. This was just... It was cold, and it was overly melancholy, and just tragically sad and boring, and you know 90% of the book is her life as a pregnant teenager, and then you cut to her as a dying 40 something year old, and you have nothing of the in between. There's just nothing, which there's no character growth obviously between hi, I'm 16 and pregnant, and I'm 40 something and dying, which is a structural problem with the overall book. So, as you can tell, personally, wasn't a great fan. If you like Nicholas Sparks, if you want something very sad, pick it up. I probably will not read another book by him again. Comment down below, like and subscribe, and I will see you here next time at the Protagonist Pub.